IVM.
Know Your Qanun. Know Your Qanun is a podcast to help you inch closer to understanding the laws and your rights and your lefts. As a civil, criminal and tax lawyer, Amber Rana addresses questions from listeners and gives insights into the various implications of the laws, the rights, the sections, specific circumstances and unwritten laws which he himself alone knows. So know your Qanun a little better every Wednesday. A lawyer for free. Episodes available at the IVM website, app or wherever the hell you get your podcast from. Kripaya dhyan dijiye, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
You cannot miss this episode of Cock and Bull. Abbas is our anchor, Aakash is our expert. But the topics that we are going to, oh my God, I can't, these are really highbrow topics. Stay with us.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Okay, I've got something for everybody here. I think the rule of law has to be applied to mobile technology. Selfies are causing too much trouble. Too many people are getting injured. A friend of mine in the airport fell on that airport thing that goes round and round, whose name I always forget, and hurt his back. Poor chap, because he's going piche, as you do when you're taking a selfie. So I've come up with this solution that you inbuild the technology from the mobile operator perspective, where they basically allow you to take 2 selfies per day. The moment you press the third selfie, there's a software which knows that, and immediately when you press the third selfie, a hand comes out and slaps you on your face, or tickles you, or pulls your nipple, or whatever, something mean. And immediately you're censored and it's not possible for you to take further selfies. So I think 2 selfies is more than enough per Indian, per square kilometer. Let's just end it there. But action has to be taken, and I ask you, mobile operator, to do something about it. And also, if you can sponsor this whole thing, then we can be soft about it. We'll do whatever you say. We may even allow 3 selfies, 4, 5, whatever. It's called Cyrus Says. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the new podcast series presented by Accenture. I'm your host Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.
Let's start.
We are right back here, and I'm left back, you're right back, and you're center back.
Yes.
Abbas, you're in charge, center back. And you want to be left because you're coming.
Is this a badminton reference?
No, footy.
Okay.
But you can also use baddie, I suppose.
Okay.
Left back as in they went on the plane to Multan and they didn't take him, so he was
Of
left
course.
back. Aakash, you ready for this?
I'm ready for
So
this.
we've got some rocking news.
Aakash Mehta, please introduce herself and what you do at IVM.
But why?
Oh yes, I am a comedian at IVM and I host a podcast on cricket called Water Player.
Yes.
But why are you
it
a
is,
comedian on IVM only? Aren't you a comedian?
No, I'm a host.
It's like saying I'm a human being, but only on IVM.
I'm a co-host on 2 shows at IVM.
Okay, I'm very confused. But are you a comedian or not?
I am a comedian outside of IVM.
Yes, that's my
That is
point.
what yes.
And here you do a cricket show. And what's the second show?
Yeah, at IVM, not very funny.
And what's the second? What's the next, second show?
Water Player is the cricket show and Varta Lab is the other show I do with Naveen. With your old producer, Naveen.
Yeah.
Naveen still here?
Corona. I mean, he does a show, 2 shows with us.
So all that exit,
Keeping it queer.
benefit match, we cried, we hugged him,
all
and within
that.
6 months he came back.
He came back.
Shouldn't be allowed.
6 months also, no. I think within 3 days he was back.
3 days of being a single
he was
comic on the
recording
road. He went to
Yeah.
Philippines. His life changed after that. Nobody knows what happened there. Something fishy about that
Not
whole
Philippines.
experience.
He went to
Manila is... hello, Manila is in Philippines. I checked.
Okay.
You're talking about Manilal. That's a store in Mumbai. Different.
Where Naveen also went.
Yes, where he was picked up. Okay.
But can I just say your selfie rant? If they
True,
if they click a selfie with their nipples getting pinched, that shit will go viral in no time.
No, I'm just trying to do something where you get a sensor of some kind, because my son has started this thing of pinching my nipple now.
Now?
Like to irritate
How
me.
old is your son?
Permissive culture. Permissive culture is very difficult to tell a 16-year-old what to do. He uses the F word liberally. Yeah? Yeah. And not when he's angry. He's like, oh, fuck, dad, he's out. I'm like, yeah, okay,
But I think
out.
that's the right way to use it also.
I've just given up. I think there are worse crimes in the world, so I don't care too much about it.
No, but I think punching nipples is a line, yeah.
Pinching. Punching nipple is different.
No, but
male to female, it's terrible.
Cyrus has a very liberal,
very liberal
relationship with his children.
With his nipples also.
Yeah. My kids talk to me very badly. Sometimes the other people are appalled. They're like, what a kamzor father. I mean, is he a father? Lower his status to sister.
Friend.
Okay, let's start.
Yeah.
With cock and bull.
If you don't want to, we'll talk about my family.
Okay, so for the first topic, I kind of merged two news pieces together. So since the whole Kashmir issue happened...
like the government, you want to just put things together and formulate your
merge
own
everything.
Okay, yeah.
So Sonam Kapoor and Priyanka Chopra have separately faced criticism about their comments on Article 370 being lifted. A couple of weeks ago, Priyanka Chopra had tweeted Jai Hind and she put up the Indian flag, and then she was at a fashion event where they were doing Q&A,
took her on,
where a Pakistani girl called her out for being a hypocrite. And
but they sort of made up. See that?
Wait, what do you mean? Why was she called out for being a hypocrite?
There was a press conference, and in the middle of this, because she's been very strongly, let's say, leaning towards whatever the government did with 370.
She tweeted hashtag Jai Hind with 3 Indian flags.
Okay.
And this Pakistani woman was like, the reason you're here has to do a lot with a lot of your Pakistani friends as well. So when you come out in support...
Why politicize that issue here?
Aren't you being hypocritical?
But
She's a UN ambassador. Her point was, you're a UN
she had
ambassador.
come to promote a hair curling iron or something. So it was not the right place to talk about it.
Yeah.
It is. Because now every place is.
Yeah.
And people will politicize. I mean, in the old days,
But why is this Pakistani girl politicizing Priyanka's friendship with those people?
Yeah,
which
Like, why are you politicizing a friendship? Friendship is different and politics is different.
Her point was, you're a UN ambassador, so you shouldn't
be bringing up that issue here. That was her problem.
You shouldn't be being
and your bias,
about
bias
military
towards 370
quote-unquote occupation.
She was a little, obviously, so there was some... Anyway,
so that isn't even the issue. It's the way Priyanka responded to her. She's like, are you done venting? Don't embarrass yourself. Like, so it was seen
but you got to do it with that half Indian American accent.
Yeah.
Are you done venting?
Are you done
yourself? Okay. Yeah.
So
why are we bringing this up?
I heard that the whole voice was dubbed by Salman.
Right.
Later. And made it into more like, are you done venting?
Salman himself gets his voices dubbed.
Salman has not understood 370 as far as I'm concerned, so nobody's asking him. So let's stay where we are.
That is true. And a couple of days ago, Sonam Kapoor was giving an interview where she said that...
No, but you haven't told him how it ended. So it ended with them sort of making up also, which is the better part of the story.
Which nobody talks about.
Yeah, nobody talks about that. After a little bit of two women, come on, cat fight, everybody shouting, forget India, Pakistan, just fight anyway. That was my thought, I'm so sorry. But the moment it ended, they hugged and made up, and she said, come on, let's not politicize. One told the other.
Oh,
and
really? I did not know about this.
It ended well.
Okay.
It didn't end badly.
Okay.
I wish that would be the context from which the whole story was told, which means that actually for all morons, that people across the border should try and look at peace.
Yeah.
That's what comes out.
Then what did the other one do?
I sent you these topics.
I refuse to add to a view to what is clearly
you sound like a husband and
non-story.
wife who are discussing domestic things where the husband has not seen the bill that the wife has forwarded.
This is not the news. This is not news.
It was a slow news week.
Sonam Kapoor's every movement is important to the whole world, not just India.
Cyrus, he put this and didn't put the fact that Shastri is coach. Do you understand priorities
You're
of this
putting
boy?
Shastri above Sonam Kapoor.
You're putting...
Sorry, please tell us. I don't know what happened.
Sonam Kapoor was giving an interview to the BBC where she was asked about this. So she admitted she doesn't have all the knowledge about this, but she said as a half...
What's all the knowledge?
As a half Sindhi, half Peshawari, it's kind of disappointing for me that...
she regionalized it.
that
she
this is happening.
Into it.
And she got trolled online about this again, because how dare you say anything even remotely not in favor of what is happening. To which she replied for the trollers to go get a life and... not troll her.
Now you tell me this is news. What is going on?
If I was in class, I would punish you for years. I don't know what the hell story this is. Some Bollywood actress making some regional comment about her background geographically in context to Kashmir, and some moron trollers who are talking back to her.
My point is...
Vets our program. We need a vetter. Someone who says, ye nahi hoga, ye nahi hoga, ye nahi hoga, ye nahi hoga.
Point is, in Hollywood, celebrities take up stances routinely. A lot of things in Hollywood.
We are
and they get supported. Here it's like they're not even saying anything
Yeah, there's no specific answer to anything.
And
it's
yet,
like, I am half Sindhi, half Punjabi, and I like butter chicken. Yes, and that's got nothing to do with what we asked you, but moving on. Huh?
But that's the point, right? Like, listen, we don't want them to have opinions. You look actor.
That's not the point, Aakash. The point is on our fantastic, intellectual, stimulating show, we are discussing Sonam Kapoor's troller's tweet back to her.
Next topic. Topic.
Would you say the same about Sheila Rashid?
Who?
Oh my God, Aakash.
Who are these people you keep talking about?
Sheila Rashid is the JNU student body president who was with the whole Kanhaiya Kumar movement. She was the front and center of it. She is a Kashmiri Muslim. She tweeted about the fact that she went to Kashmir and found that people are routinely being arrested. Because the picture that the government is posting is people are happy and they are welcoming this and blah blah blah.
But the government will say she's from the left and she's supporting.
Exactly. So
see now, had you brought this up,
the army is
slightly better.
Yeah, this is worth talking about.
Here you pass the test.
Okay.
We want to push for the story because the humor factor is always low on these ones.
So basically, Kashmir mein log pit rahe.
Well, he's saying that there are two perspectives and you only get one because Doordarshan is the only channel that's on. Something like that, yeah?
No, my point here is trolling. Like, people are getting...
Nobody got that point. Nobody in the world got that point.
Why am I being judged on this episode?
Aakash, there are dying people listening to our show didn't get this point and they've got heavy medication. What the hell point was that?
I didn't know I was going to be judged about my topic.
You are the only bald person today. You have a responsibility.
Okay, let's show him for 2 minutes. His point is trolling and trolling is very important.
It's very bad.
Someone has to play the role of censor, public censor. I think the biggest problem is people like us or whatever little form, places you have, media positions and platforms, you go and take the troller's point of view. Sometimes you're giving him too much attention.
There is no troller's point of view.
No, we do.
Point of view is it's our way.
We get titillated by the troller who's calling somebody names or starting a fight.
Aakash, the thing he's saying they're paid for doing this.
Aakash is a troller.
Now so one of the people who has been saying nonsense things about Sheila Rashid is a governor in some district, right? So now it's like official people with official authority.
You are governor in a district, you have to be governor in a state.
I mean, whatever. Okay, state.
District, you have to be like the Shaka Pramukh or something.
Collector.
So now people with official power are, making statements and going after
So what you're saying is the politician should not be seen and heard. You should just know the name and we.
There were news channels running polls. Should Sheila Rashid be arrested? I mean, she hasn't committed a crime.
I can guess those channels though. That I can do in 2 seconds.
Yeah. So I mean, but
BBC.
It is a democracy.
Not
as my Gujarati friend Brijesh told me, it is a democracy, and democracy we must be allowed to talk.
When you went with Gujarati friend, I thought you will take a
No. My other Gujarati friend is right here, Aakash. So he knows what I'm saying.
I know what you mean, completely.
But this is common knowledge.
No, I just feel, as somebody who is trolled to some extent on the internet.
An ego?
No, you're a nice troll. You're a cute troll.
No, I am trolled.
That's your troll.
He gets trolled for his comments, you chuth. This is the worst panelist I've ever heard in my life. Firstly, the topics were crap. People were discussing what the hell are they doing with their life. I couldn't understand your perspective. And now his poor story, you've killed it.
Go ahead, Aakash.
I feel
Aakash, you egomaniac. Tell us about how you get trolled every day.
No, it's a cycle. Like when you take validation from the internet, then when
you can't have it one way.
You can't have it one way. So, like in my experience, it's what really helps with trolling is that you stop taking even the good things.
The world's greatest troller, Rudyard Kipling, wrote that beautiful poem, If you can treat failure and success the same, it really translates into criticism and praise.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You can't have it one way. We have it one way. We love it. See what nice things they said about it on the internet. Somebody says, you got a small penis.
Somebody will write to, the things that people say about all these actors also. Right. I'm sure there are people who are saying...
penis comment, for example. I hear with the actors a lot.
Yeah. When someone says, you changed my life, you had a positive impact on my life, and then somebody calls you a motherfucker, that's the equivalent, no? Yeah. You'll get both. You can't just get the good life.
Sometimes the same person, because after 2 drinks, the value changes,
Yeah.
So if someone comes up to you and says, hey, I saw your comedy, it really helped me out, would you not believe them then?
It's not about believing them. I believe that the person calling me a motherfucker also believes that I'm a motherfucker. It's okay.
What his point is when you get happy for whatever success. So, supposing his thing is about depression, right? So the person actually has empathy for that because he's gone through that. How can he deny that he touched a chord with the person with depression? He did. But there's also some guy who says you screwed up. You're making too much out of something which stronger people can handle or whatever. Then he has to take that as well because that's the point of view of the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. But my point is only this. Please have your point of view, but don't use profanity because then that's just getting personal and causing people's blood to rush.
Also, another thing...
You react emotionally to it and then just rubbish from both sides.
Another thing to it, there's also...
That's why I never say the words motherfucker. I say mother and take a gap. Then I say fucker.
I was going to make a point about how.
Wait a second, that sounds like mother. Fuck her.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what it sounds like.
thing to say.
I know my literature, Aakash.
This has gone off the rails. Okay, let's move on.
Brother, can we give marks for the choice of topic? So far, Sonam Kapoor
I
1 on
only
10.
used one.
Priyanka Chopra 1.5 on 10.
Both
if you
were
make
one
2,
topic.
Aakash, if he makes 2 on 10, we pass the bugger. You're passed.
Okay. Manmohan Singh,
Yes.
ex-Prime
You're
Minister.
struggling. You're struggling already.
This is a good one.
No, he's on weak ground for me. Bolo, sir.
Manmohan Singh was elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha, becomes the lone Congress representative from Rajasthan in the parliament, since all other Rajya Sabha MPs are from the BJP. The reason he gets this position is because the previous member sadly passed away.
Passed away, so seat is vacated.
And the BJP did not field any candidate as a mark of respect, I guess, against...
Mark of respect, but when you have 350 left, right and centre in Lok Sabha, you don't really care what Rajya Sabha is that.
Is Manmohan Singh the first, sort of, so when our previous prime ministers, we don't know so much about their post-prime minister career. Okay. Like, is Manmohan Singh the only one who's still polishing the CV?
No.
But it's a very interesting point you've raised, because actually he is more or less dead in politics. Yeah. Nobody is going to take him seriously in that sense, without being disrespectful. I don't think he was a bad human being in any way. Yeah. But having said that, it's a very good point. But then that also explains what the Rajya Sabha is doing. Is the Rajya Sabha as a body, at the end of the day, it's always very secondary to the Lok Sabha.
Right.
And so you have to understand that your position in the Rajya Sabha is it's a much smaller position than it is. Because if you look at the way the bills are even transferred, you go from Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha, you can go twice, and then the Rajya Sabha doesn't count after that. So it's just a question of stalling. They can't do more than that.
Right.
And the Rajya Sabha itself also, I mean, half the members are not even elected, dude. And they don't even elect them at the, I mean, there are
a few selected, but 1/3
and 1/3 are getting refreshed every year.
Recycled is the better word.
Recycled.
Because they can come back. Yeah. And having said that, I don't mind a Rajya Sabha membership, for culture or culinary arts or kung fu.
At least, but will you attend? That's my only problem.
But the records are not that great. Yaar. 3-4 baar gaya,
that's what I'm saying.
Middle order mein.
Yeah, because if you attend, you can't go.
But
then say that.
Yeah.
Sachin was an opening batsman.
But not a very good record in terms of...
वो आता था ना पहले सेशन में फिर नहीं घुसता
Match hadn't started. They won't let him in.
Finance ministers still routinely go to Manmohan Singh too for, I don't know.
Many people.
Yeah.
That's because the present Prime Minister doesn't give them any conveyance. So they don't want to go up and down to Parliament because they get no money. They have to spend their own. So Congress is still paying. It's so sweet.
Manmohan Singh is probably one of the most important people in this country's recent history, if you think about it. Because like in 1993, if it weren't for him, we would never have...
As an economist,
Sorry, 91, we would never have
As a finance minister and economist, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody has bad words to say about him. You might disagree.
Not as a prime minister?
Sorry?
Not as a prime
minister. As a prime minister,
he was
unfortunately, people like Aakash spent 10 minutes doing jokes on him in their 40-minute set, which is not fair.
Which we miss
20.
doing now.
Yeah.
No,
as a prime minister, unfortunately, it became like what Rahul Gandhi has gone through, I think, from at least English comedy perspective, maybe not so much in Hindi, but definitely in English, where they just made him a laughing stock, the silent librarian, this, that and the other. So he became a whipping boy of comedy, and you guys are responsible for Congress's loss in the elections. English comedians of India. 1, 2, and Abhay sitting there.
But I just feel like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, as
he didn't have a choice. There's a hierarchy in the opposition. I won't take names of the party, and he's sort of told what to do.
You mean you're saying the Rajya Sabha seat or being a prime minister?
Again, he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, both.
I actually find that hard to believe.
You can't walk away from
this
it
whole
now?
being a puppet thing is a little overblown.
What rush are you getting at this
They're trying to give him a little bit of an honor.
That's what I'm saying.
They're trying to give him a little bit of honor.
Because all ex-prime ministers.
You don't have a benefit match like in cricket. So what do you do as a politician? You just fade away like an old soldier and nobody remembers you. That's very unfair,
did that, no?
Let's not put him in the same category. Manmohan Singh, like he said, economic liberal reform, blah, blah, blue. There's that good stuff which people have forgotten. And you only remember the second term actually, where he was basically under the thumb completely and they screwed up completely and lost an election for which they're paying for now 10 years at least it's going to be. So I think they just want to give him a little send-off.
Okay.
And he gets a Rajya Sabha, what else? A governorship, Rajya Sabha.
2-3 साल तक टिकेगा वो अंदर.
Foreign they can't send anywhere, but Prime Minister goes everywhere.
But the Atal Bihari Vajpayee was also still member of parliament after he stopped being prime minister.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't he?
I can't remember
now.
And
uska government toota tha. Obviously, he was still elected as a member of parliament after he was no
longer PM. I remember what he said to me though. Hamare desh mein Aakash Sabha jaise naujawan
It was his first death anniversary last week.
And you didn't stop me? You couldn't stop me?
He did, but it was too late.
He just kept laughing. Let me screw him more.
Next story.
One more verse.
No, let's take a break right now. How do you rate me on this?
No, you were super. But I'll say, the irony here, not irony, spot on actually. You talk about Manmohan Singh, known for his silence, and we should take a moment's silence and then come back.
Hello everyone, I'm Zain.
I'm Avanti.
And welcome back to a brand new season of Marbles Lost and Found.
A show on mental health and its stigma, and we're kind of making it an open conversation.
Pretty much, yeah. And we're really, really excited about this season because we have a number of guests on and we'll be talking about things like addiction,
grief, children and mental health.
Exactly, children and mental health. And our listeners have also written in this time. Yes,
and we have an episode dedicated to that.
Yes, and guys, thank you so much for writing, and we really, really appreciate it.
And we're really excited for you to tune in on Tuesdays on the IVM website or app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
And you can find Marbles Lost and Found on Facebook, or you can find Marbles Lost and Found on Instagram as well, the handle being Marbles Podcast India.
Can't wait for you to tune in.
Thank you very much. See you guys soon.
Back here after a long break, or shall we say, Manmohan. And
by the way, Atal Bihari Vajpayee also used to take pauses between his
He's
sentences.
the king of the pauses.
King of the pauses.
But that was a different style. And the whole style was the audience then comes to the edge of their seat at that pause. When you say, Ek din hamare desh mein, and then the whole audience comes forward for the next
and
word.
And they're all thinking, Zumba class, Zumba class, Zumba class. Par fir wo bolta hai bijli.
Can you believe it? Yeah. Imagine Rajya Sabha doing Zumba. I mean, that would be worth it for the country. That could be a huge
hit. Dude, pehle hafte mein aadhe mar jate.
From like just 1/3 we recycle anyway.
Alright, you want to discuss Ravi Shastri getting re-elected as
so you again used the wrong word, Abbas. I have to explain it to you.
Yeah.
I think once this selection happened many months ago, when Virat already decided amongst himself and Ravi, while they were having a beer in a pub at Tim's or whatever in London, and it's already done, there was no need to call the great Kapil Dev and Anshuman Gaikwar and Shanta Rangaswamy and form a panel and make them stand there. And the bichara Firangs who come to apply, like Mike Hessen, actually thinking they have a chance.
They couldn't even spell his name right.
They called him Mike Hassan. But he was okay.
But the one coach who got us the recent World Cup was Gary Kirsten, right? Who was a Firang. So,
but he was not in the running. So who was in the?
No, I'm saying then why aren't they considered at all?
No, that's not the question. The question one should be asking is: has the last 2 years under Ravi been good?
Right.
I think it's been not bad, to be honest. All right. I think in Test cricket we've done pretty well. But I think if you're looking at how powerful this team is in white ball cricket or on paper, we should have done better in the World Cup. But having said that, you only lost one game, 1 or 2 games.
You literally lost 2 games.
2 games. You lost 2 games, and you out of 11. I mean, that's
so we did a damn good job.
So I can't completely. But my point is transparency. The truth of the matter is that Virat and Ravi more or less select themselves. So why have all this shosha going on in the background? I don't have a problem. Let Ravi be. I think he's a great man manager. They have a good partnership going. India is probably playing the best cricket of the last few generations with this team. And for the next couple of years, I don't think Virat should be touched. This whole Rohit Sharma crap has to end. Because once you do that, you start killing the team, You start creating that second divide and all.
Yeah.
You have to have one alpha male, whether it's Imran in Pakistan, not as Prime Minister, but as captain. Frank Worrell in the West Indies, Clive Lloyd.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is also, I think, our performance in bilateral series has actually been better than ever.
Okay, you beat Australia and Australia. Of course, a weekend Australia, but it's still Australia.
Yeah, but we beat them at home.
They're the street fighters of the world. Yeah. They're those guys who can, with no name Australian cricketers will give you trouble.
We'll live, dude, with another few years. और वैसे भी कुछ 2-4 साल का ही extension है देखो.
2 साल.
और
T20 World Cup.
4 साल, 4 साल is almost like another world.
No, 2
till
साल,
the next World
till the
Cup.
T20
In
World
football
Cup.
and cricketing terms, both 4 years as coach is as good as you get.
Yeah.
Today, nobody really runs more than 4 years. It's sort of the familiarity breeds contempt thing, and then they need to move on.
Anti-incumbency भी हो जाता है.
Anti-incumbency, all that. Okay. Who actually wins? Out of 40 teams, 1 team wins. 39 lose.
So, इसमें दूसरा क्या होता है ना कि actually my only concern is that we've not been that good with T20s in the last few years.
There's also overkill. You play the IPL, you rush in the World Cup. There are a few answers the admin has to give.
Yeah.
But are you going to fault him? He's great at just coming and giving confidence to the boys. This is one thing Indians need. That's his style. He'll say, Kill, you're too good. Sir, but my back is broken. You'll play tomorrow. And they'll put him on a stretcher and put him out with the bat in his hand. So Ravi's got that. You got to give it to Ravi as a cricketer also. Not the greatest talent. They'll say the same thing. He's like the working man's cricketer, but he always punched above his weight. And he has that good ability to be positive and strong.
और बहुत दारू पीता है.
And that's a great thing. But what sport should be without alcohol?
True.
All the great sportsmen, you alcoholics.
But that's why you realize last year we were touring all year because we went to all the countries where you can get liquor at the
He's not gone to Bangladesh. For some reason, he says, I'll skip the Bangladesh tour.
Yeah.
But they'll get booze in Bangladesh. Of course he will.
At the stadium.
No, if you have the influence in the subcontinent, you will get it in your mouth wherever you want. You open your mouth. Don't worry where you are.
No, but मुझे वही डर है कि अभी 2 T20 World Cup consecutive years में.
So that's ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah, and that is ridiculous. But now Ravi is in charge of both of those.
Wait, what? The 2 T20 World Cup?
Yeah, it's difficult to explain now. We'll come back into a whole cricket special on that. Okay. But I want to just quickly end on the fact that I think both Aakash and I are okay with this selection. Okay. I want Virat as captain in all 3 forms. I believe
I miss him in the commentary box, Ravi Shastri.
Well, I don't mind if he commentates. This conflict of interest you have to sort out in between.
Dude, even the Kapilwala board has conflict of interest charges against him and nobody has done anything.
And Rahul Dravid is also facing one.
Yeah.
Filed by some, what is it, MP in Madhya Pradesh.
So, you can't hold 2 positions at once, na? So, he's capped. So, which is very stupid because...
But Ravi Shastri's answer was perfect. He said, I'm an all-rounder. 3 positions. It's not fair.
Good topic.
Yeah. Lovely topic. Okay. Your marks? 8 on 10.
What 8 on 10? We gave him the topic.
Salah, you robbed Akash's topic. So, minus 8 on 10.
Let's go to glaciers and global warming.
I'm not happy. The fragility of your thought process on this one. We are now looking at 1, 2 and 3. Priyanka Chopra, Sonam Kapoor and glaciers. And it's gold, silver,
and
bronze.
And it's not even glaciers. Tell him what
is it?
A glacier has melted completely. It went by the name of Okjokul, which is
Icelandic. It's Icelandic.
Icelandic.
Why
name.
are you telling me this?
No, wait.
The first ever memorial plaque has been kept in memory of this glacier.
So the first ever glacier plaque is the story that we have been brought.
That's the story.
Are we allowed to? Is violence condemned here? What can we do?
The point of this story is they're trying to make people aware and wake up. Otherwise, there'll be thousands of such plaques.
So, okay.
Because
good job with the plaque though, bro.
It's an environmental story which you have used to explain where your heart is in saving the world. Am I right now?
No, plastic ke bottle mein pita pani.
Oh, acha. Is that the story?
But then I recycle the plastic like the Prime Minister has asked us.
You use the one plastic for both ends?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. That's real recycling. You drink from here and you wash from there. You use the same plastic
That
bottle.
makes sense.
What are your
You
comments?
feel it from the right point, but that's your decision. I'm not going to...
Your comments, Cyrus, on the memorial plaque for the glacier.
The moment you said glacier, I fell asleep. So I'll have to track back and try and put together what happened post
Did you know there were scientists who specialize in glaciers called glaciologists?
Yes.
I recently came to know about this.
How do they pick up dates and stuff? Like, what do they say? How do they chat with women?
I got an ice cold flow.
Yeah.
Like a glacier.
Wow. I'm turned on.
I'm a bit of a glacier enthusiast.
Oh, really?
Yes. And even I don't think it's good news to put on this show.
Tell me like a fascinating fact.
We'll go down in Cock and Bull history as the most ridiculously stupid, and we're a stupid show.
It was a slow news.
By no means not a stupid show.
It was a slow news week.
But how slow are we? The glacier ka plaque. Not in the fucking glacier. The plaque after the glacier is what we're talking about.
Glacier to chala gaya.
At least glacier to ek baat hai. What is this bloody plaque?
So a glacier is a frozen river. You know that?
Is that so?
That's what a glacier is.
Tell me more.
It's a frozen river. And
so a frozen river drowned the Titanic, essentially.
What? No,
that
was an iceberg, man. What are you doing? Abbas?
When the frozen river...
What's the difference between an iceberg and a glacier?
When you break the frozen river into small pieces, put it in an ice box and then serve it, then that's the Titanic.
Acha, okay.
That's the thing.
Oh my God.
You did not know who Sheila Rashid was, okay?
Oh my God.
And by the way, Aakash, as a proud Indian, you say Titanic.
Yes.
When the movie released, many people said, have you watched Titanic? And I don't know why it's not Titanic, because TIT is tit. Every boy knows that, and boys and girls both.
Of course.
It should have been TAI.
Excuse me and tell me how I'm wrong. TIT is what?
Tit.
Yeah, bus, तेरे English नहीं आते. What is the problem? TIT is tit. So how do they say tight? Explain.
It's English pronunciation.
What is FIT?
Fit.
Would you say Fitanic? No, Fitanic. If it's SIT, sit. Titanic.
But then
TIT, Titanic. So why the hell is it Titanic? For that they deserve to go.
For that you have to
go.
You
screwing
have to
up the
first
word.
find out why Sophia College is called Sophia College. If you can find that, then you will know the Titanic.
Yeah, we used to only call it Girls College.
Going back to his 2013 material.
Have you ever dated a girl from Sophia College?
No.
Why did you say, no? Was it a boy?
Oh.
It was a boy.
I was going through the directory.
Okay. All right. Are we done? Any more bad
No,
stories?
there is one.
AMAs can save us.
The next one is kind of a tricky one
Yeah.
because it's very sad and it's very.
Oh God! So now after all these innocuous stories, now it's a tragedy. Can I leave and come back?
The Pehlu Khan verdict, which came out, where everybody was acquitted. The piece I've chosen is the.
But the court is for lack of evidence.
Yeah,
so in a sense, if the court is not guilty, then the prosecution is guilty. In a sense, it's not being able to.
Then the prosecution.
The judge said that at an event. He said that these people either janbujke or through incompetence
but I don't have it on paper to put the clues together. And
but then, Aakash is the lawyer here. People were caught on video killing this person. Like, how is that not evidence enough?
It is about.
But are we allowed to use that? There's some debate about that under Indian law. We cannot use audio and video.
Evidence or not? No, that problem nahi hai.
No, but will the court take that into account, or you can present it and they don't take it into account? Something like that.
The argument that the opposition would most likely give, because I haven't read the arguments, but the opposition would probably say, is he dead in this or is he just being beaten?
Okay.
Can you confirm से कि ये मरा हुआ है? Can you confirm से कि यही लोग हैं पीछे से ये तो खड़ा है?
The Sidhu case was also decided on this.
Yeah.
The Sidhu case. That they did beat up that old man at the parking, but
you can't tell if he
did not die then. No, he died later.
Oh, he died later.
But so the connect between him being beaten and the fact that he died in hospital many days later.
का problem हो जाता.
Yeah. So on that.
So the judge essentially said that the cases which are monitored by the Supreme Court have better outcomes, but the Supreme Court can't monitor every case.
They can't even keep full strength in the courts. What they will make them do?
Okay, but now coming back to Abbas's point, if you have their faces and the fact of the matter that I mean, if it just you tell me, what do you do?
Evidence in front of you have to judge on as a judge. You can't judge on evidence in the world because that's not cleared as evidence yet. It's only evidence if it's been put into the court, if it's permissible, if it's there in the...
So the only way you can get an outcome in India is if the person who is killing is seen killing, and after killing the person who's dying says, Mr. John here killed me or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So just to be clear, otherwise you have no chance.
It's a political will issue. If they don't want to catch the guy who killed you, then they will never catch the guy who killed you, right? Because then there are 5 million things you can say that went wrong. Oh, blood smear में अच्छे से नहीं आया, genetic test में अच्छे से नहीं आया, कुछ भी कर सकता है फिर गोची वो आदमी. So there's nothing, dude, there is no rule of, there is no consequence, okay, for anybody in our country. Anybody can do anything and get away with it. It's fine. A cop can, This
is why I urinate wherever I want to.
Exactly.
I do it just out of sheer delight that I can do it.
Cyrus and goats. These are the only people doing it right in this country.
He's not the first man to make that equation, by the way.
Good thing you escaped Bakri then.
Yeah. I didn't.
Dude, he was Bakra for years.
I didn't, Abbas. I was just too expensive.
That's true.
Now he talks about, he says, I know that there are cases of willful neglect by the cops.
I also read a little bit about what the judge, basically tantamount to, I believe they are guilty, but there's no way I can process it.
Or the cop hasn't done his job.
Purposely, willfully.
And yet
willfully has avoided chasing the bow.
Exactly. And despite that, you can't do shit. Are you really telling me as the Supreme Court of India you can't? Then what hope do any of us have? It's a very scary concept when you think about it.
Very positive note.
Who said Manmohan Singh? Somebody. Not so bad now.
But I think it's also in a sense fine because if you run away to Ecuador or something, they can't catch you.
Right. The judge?
No.
Perpetrator.
Okay. Speaking of which, Mr. Antigua...
Have you ever been accused of anything in court? Have you ever gone to a court?
I've gone for a court accident case.
Okay. Yeah?
Hit a lady. She came from the front of the bus and banged into the car. Not drinking or anything normal, but I was young, 18, 19. But then the crowd beat me up very badly.
Yeah?
It was what you all don't know about India.
How old were you?
India is a lovely class society. Class conflict is the greatest problem with India which people don't look at. You focus too much on Hindu, Muslim and caste issues. I'm telling you, class is the biggest.
China.
I had Shweta Shetty, Johnny Joker, in her tight jeans, sitting next to me. We were coming from a rehearsal. Got out of my NE 118 like a star in my jeans and my tight t-shirt and this hot chick with me and all that. And this crowd came and this lady is going, hey Ram. Ultimately, she only hurt her hip. It was fractured. But nothing really bad happened. She spent 2 weeks in hospital and whatever. But on the road, there was an old lady going, hey Ram. There's this guy in jeans and a hot chick and coming out of a car. Yeah. And the crowd from the bus came out. And then Shweta, to protect me, she was hitting them and all because I had to just cover my head. They were hitting me with shoes and belts and all. It was quite an interesting time in my life.
But cops can choose to prosecute it even if the victim says, like if you and I have like a fight one day as friends and chalo things escalate and I punch you and you punch me back, we can both be okay with it, but the cop can still lodge an FIR.
And do it later also. So when you think suddenly a summons comes to the house.
Yeah. It's very terrifying. And they put out, what they do is they ask you to put go to judicial custody, and then they'll say ki, we can't let you out on bail, because if you go out on bail, you might tamper with evidence. Matlab, before you even enter the court, you are presumed to already be guilty of the act, and there is evidence, and I will tamper with it. Bolo, itna kuch to log dal dete तुमके ऊपर. ये चल यार Canada यार.
So this is my sad story.
ये topic Abbas बहुत गंदा.
By the way, have you ever been prosecuted?
No, I have never been prosecuted.
You will be. You're a comedian.
Oh god damn.
AMAs.
Hello and welcome to another awesome week at the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to take a screenshot of whatever podcast of ours that you're listening to. Take a screenshot and put in a comment about what you think about the show, and we will reshare it from our social media pages. Here's what's in store for you this week. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is in conversation with historian Srinath Raghavan. They talk about the complicated history of Jammu and Kashmir, the recent abrogation of Article 370, and what the future might hold. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta is joined by Vishal Sabharwal, EVP, e-commerce and digital marketing at HDFC Life. They discuss life insurance and its importance, different investment options offered by HDFC Life, and more. On Keeping It Queer, Naveen and Farhad talk to drag queen Sushant Divgikar about his journey of representing one's community and why is it important. On our Kannada podcast Thalle Harte, Varun Ramachandra talks to Pawan Srinath about his life in political sciences and political philosophies. On Football Shutball, Gaurav, Karthik and Sivaram discuss the Manchester City vs Tottenham match. They touch upon the Neymar saga and Roberto Pereira dancing to Bazigar O Bazigar. On the Geek Fruit podcast, Jishnu and Dinkar break down and give their take on the brand new TV series The Boys. On Golgappa, host Trupti Khamkar is joined by Daniel Mendonça, a gender rights activist who talks about being sex positive and inclusiveness. He also shares his experience of representing India at the UN. On Water Player, Mikhail, Aakash and Siddharth talk about Chris Gayle breaking Lara's record, Kedar Jadhav's comparison with Vicks, Rafael Nadal and his sneakers, Arsenal fans and a lot more. On Simplified, Chuck and Srikit talk to crossword setter for the Hindu Tony Sebastian about crossword puzzles and what goes into setting them. And with that, let's get you back onto your show.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
All right, back here with the AMAs. I don't know if there was a break also. Was there a break?
There was a break.
There was a break.
How did I score on my overall topics?
You've improved.
The
last one
hit a sixer in the end, no?
Yeah, I go on boxing terms. In the last two rounds, you suddenly woke up and you were able to, your cross punching was fabulous. One haymaker and then you landed one right in the below the belt, which nobody saw.
Good thing I didn't end with Lily Singh. I had a Lily Singh topic also.
My daughter likes Lily Singh. Please don't mention her name. Okay, I said in my family, Lily means a fast bowler.
What is Lily got a talk show, you know?
Yeah.
She's huge
on NBC.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Got a huge following.
Yeah,
it's a cult following of the same type of 15-year-old, 12-year-old girls or whatever. But
now that's gonna.
I used to have that following.
She's got a late night talk show at like 12:30 in the night. So now older people will also become.
No, her fans who have now become 18, 19 will watch.
My 12-year-old daughter scared me. She came and said, "Do you know Lily Singh is bisexual?" And like with wow in her eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, Abhi, beta, we have to discuss this. This is very complicated for daddy. Let mommy come home.
This is very common. I like that you just like saab aa rahe.
Kids are damn dangerous, boss. You're never prepared for kids. My son as a young guy, you know, when he was like 3 or 4. One day we were walking, he's saying, "Daddy, who's God's mother?" How do I answer this question? Fuck knows. My wife was in South Africa. I said, he's asking who's God's mother. I don't pray or anything. I don't know where to start.
All right, cool. So let's answer the questions we can. First one comes from Kishan KY. It's his full name is Kishan Kaluraya from Coorg, Karnataka.
Oh,
I have been to Coorg.
Lovely.
Yeah, not
Lovely
friendly
place.
people.
They're tough guys.
Huge fan
Don't
of the
mess with
show.
the Coorgi boys.
The buffaloes will
And
kill you, dude.
at a Coorgi wedding, you just stay away from anyone carrying a gun because in celebration you might die. It's worse than UP. But lovely food. Very pretty women.
Yeah.
Bolo?
He says, huge fan of the show.
Lovely food is allowed.
It is a suggestion more than a question. One thing is I wish the show was longer for maybe 2 hours at least.
My God.
And his
You
other...
can play the same show twice.
Yeah, dude.
Another
With
thing,
better stories.
Listen to Vartalab.
nice. Another thing, I wish you had someone from the far right or at least right-leaning guest on your show.
Why
should
do
get.
people think I am not right-leaning? God damn it, I am a right-leaning person.
No, you're just a comedian.
No, I am economically right-leaning.
Yeah, that's the thing,
Let's
right?
get someone, no? It'll be fun.
Here's the thing, right?
Who do we get, but?
Exactly.
We can get...
the sensible
Aditya
right-leaning
Thackeray I can
friend.
try and get. Is that good enough? But he's not really right in that sense.
No, I think he
personally.
means for cock and bull because he says when you have the
Or
conversation.
just a general guy who thinks right. Akash, you find the guy.
I'm
No, you're
telling
not.
you,
You're
I'm
not
the
the guy.
only
You're
one.
not the guy. You're
Listen,
too
as
balanced.
the
You're too
only
balanced.
Hindu on this panel.
That's true. You're a minority finally. Superb. We can't go above this one. This is beautiful. This is the best gag of the day. They're minority only on our podcast. Our Hindus are minority, which means they shut us down fast now. Super. But I don't mind it. I think we should have balance.
Yeah,
Not balance, but
definitely.
different
The thing
sides.
is, the more moderate right-leaning people are also becoming a little loony as we go along.
No, but
So
that's fine.
It gets,
What his
and then it becomes
his point is, you know, I always become like the Republic, is it? I don't know the channel's name. We've got to have people with diverse opinions, hopefully talking with some sense of fun.
Like India.
Can I make this? Tell me if you agree with
Ask
me.
people out there.
People,
Write in.
the
They write
people
in.
on the left are more forthcoming about entertaining the other person's thought than the people on the
I
right.
disagree.
Are. Really?
Yeah.
I think Indians just want to be heard.
Nobody wants to listen. Neither side wants to listen.
No, it's like step into their shoes and
No, but
see.
listen, guys, they
like,
want-
have you seen that meme that the doctor tells the patient, this is to make fun of the leftists, is like, doctor says you have cancer, and the patient is like, let cancer have its say, you know? It's like, we on the left are way more,
No, so let's do one thing. Let's, not us, okay? Let's pretend that we don't exist.
Yeah.
In terms of where we're leaning.
Yeah.
But I know, Abbas, you lead right
Of
now
course,
for
yes.
safety's sake.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Akash, you've gone left just for variety. But having said that,
Asaduddin
let's find
Owaisi
two.
is my hero.
Yeah, exactly. Let's find two guys. One comedian or whatever, just corporate guy or whatever.
Yeah.
One leans right, one leans left.
Right.
So we have both sides who are not us.
Okay.
Us, we are little
But the show is
political and
called
we
Cyrus
switch.
Says.
No, with us. So 5 people can sit
You
now, Baba.
find a cock and a bull.
Yes.
Who's the cock? The right-leaning guy or the left-leaning
Oh,
guy?
abhi dekh tera hai.
The bull has to be the right-leaning guy.
Okay.
Because he's closer to the cow.
Right.
You have to put that in
Cousins
perspective.
they are.
And it's their government, so obviously the cock will be the other guy.
Okay.
Because wo katte hain.
All right, the
How do you
next
spell
one.
cock?
C-A-L... No.
No, Baba.
C-O-C-K wala cock.
That's Pepsi.
What is that cork that you put in things, no?
Shuttlecock.
That's
No,
cork
no,
with an R.
not cork. There's
Cork.
another cork
Oh
that
my
you...
God,
That you
your
put in
CEO
things.
take all these
Can you
dirty
be, can you
talks
be
to
more?
Vartalam.
Can you be more open?
No, there is another...
What is that
not
cock
a-
you put in
not
things?
the biological...
Listen to what you said, Mr. Comedian.
Not the
You
biological...
should have stopped at Hindu. We had a winning moment. Show should have ended.
It is the male version of a hen. Let's end it at that. Girish Gogia asks, hi Cyrus, do you know the full form of acronyms like NGL, MOL, IRL, etc. and do they annoy you?
Akash, will you help me?
I will help you with some of them.
What
not...
I know
NIL?
NGL, you know NGL, right?
NGL?
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Could you sound like a New York housewife?
You know what you should try? You should try saying honestly instead. It's a...
TBH,
It's,
to
oh
be
my
honest.
God.
Are you serious?
Yeah, TBH is to be honest.
Okay, I know TBH, but why would you could just write honestly? Just write the word. Why can't you just write the bloody word?
Because sometimes it grammatically doesn't fit.
No. It's dead. The younger generation, the one after yours, doesn't write any full word.
What is this? Yeah. What other one? Chalo, batao. IRL is in real life.
Yeah.
In
What is
real-
MCM?
MCM.
It's a political party.
Let's find out.
Might-
MCM.
Mother chod men.
might
Don't guess like that, huh, Baba? We'll be here for half an hour.
might chafe
Oh,
mommy.
Man Crush Monday.
What?
Man
what
crush
is
Monday.
why?
I guess it's the male version of WCW,
Abbas,
which
today,
is Women Crush
The
Wednesday.
AMAs have also been terrible. So if you look at our entire show, in terms of substance, we've reached the nadir, the bottom, the gutter. Uske niche jo hai, I don't know, that subterranean layer, there.
Yeah, gotta keep moving, man.
Bro, we need someone to help us with this show. That right-wing guy has to come on fast. We need him so badly.
Okay.
that it?
No, there's so we had that whole Comic Stan conversation last
Right,
time.
right,
We've
right.
got another Comic Stan question.
Huh.
This one comes from Rubin, and I'm not making this up. The last name is Cholera. Rubin Cholera.
No, it can't be cholera.
Cholera.
Cholera or something.
No,
You're
it's
pronouncing it
Cholera.
wrong.
Rubin Cholera.
How can it be Reuben cholera?
That's what it says. Guys, it's cholera.
Cholera, sorry.
if he gets cholera, what does the doctor say? Mr. Cholera, he's got cholera. I know, he's cholera. He's cholera, he's got cholera. It'll be very confusing. It doesn't make sense. So it's cholera? Have you decided?
Cholera.
Yeah, Cholera. Rubin Cholera says, "Hi Cyrus, love the show. I appreciate Rajiv's point about Comicstan being about behind the scenes, etc. But I have something fundamentally against the concept of having judges seriously score comedy. By judging comedy, you are by definition taking it seriously.
Absolutely.
Which is missing the entire point of
the
comedy.
Judges should be flogged. Who are the judges?
Everybody from the comedy scene.
Let's
not say comedy scene. We all know they're not from the comedy scene. They're
from
a
certain
OML comedy scene.
yes.
Venn diagram hai wo.
OMListan.
Yeah. The question is, in the end, what are your thoughts about comedy shows where you have judges seriously judging comedy?
What do you think?
I agree. I think this guy is a great philosopher. He should replace me on the show. He's one original thought for the year that I've heard.
Yeah.
I hate it when people take comedy too seriously.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Kunal Vijayakar, Abhay, who's here, will tell you, he's just so serious all the time. He wants to write the jokes also in this serious fashion. I get so bored. I cry. I actually cry
then you
don't
have a show if you're not judging.
No, but
There's some sort of competitiveness.
But the truth is that you generally become a comic because you're a loser in life and couldn't get anything else.
Yeah.
So then what the fuck are you doing getting serious suddenly? You should just say, I'm lucky enough that I'm making a little money on the side here. Now keep quiet and do it.
So he gives the example of Mock the Week or even Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the points didn't matter. You just gave scores.
They were so much fun. Mock the Week is fabulous. Whose Line Is
Aakash
okay.
is thinking something very
Have you seen
hard.
Mock the Week? They're great.
I love it.
Love it.
What are your
So
opinions
get the
on
judges to watch Mock the Week for the next season and then come back and try again. Since it's a, BJP government shouldn't be Comic Nagar and not Comikistan because that sends
That's very true.
a message.
That's very true.
I would not want to point
Comic
fingers.
Raj.
Comic Raj is good.
Yeah.
Comic Poor is even better.
Comic Poor.
Yeah. Or Poor Comic, depending on quality.
You want to add something to that?
Don't watch it, man.
Okay.
Just don't watch it. It's
Nobody,
okay.
but the judges in all reality shows shouldn't be so serious. They
I
irritate
don't
me.
think it's like...
How is it different from judging any other talent
I'll
show?
tell you why.
Huh.
It's, I think, unlike other talents, comedy jadoo hai. Okay? Like in the dance, you're seeing the person dance, so you assume कि उसने जाके dance किया. When you're doing comedy, you're pulling shit out of thin air. It's not like... It's not like a movie where you can behind the
Abbas
scenes
is
make
sounding
sense.
very serious.
Yeah, I
Pull
know.
off the mic.
So I think the idea of somebody's and what advice have you heard? Like my problem is more the judging what the judges say to the comic, which
or the tonality.
no, not forget the tonality also, just the feedback that they're giving. I would never give that feedback to you know what I mean.
Why
It's
not?
not real feedback.
Okay.
It's not feedback that
Got
a
it.
comedian would give to
It's
a
not
comedian.
genuine feedback.
It's a feedback that is watered down so that the audience also understands what's being said. But we all know that that's not the actual feedback going back and forth. So then why are we doing a cheap attempt?
Okay, cool.
Scary that we spend so much time over Comic Poor.
Next one comes from Nimish
More?
Gorgri. Yeah.
Last.
Way past my bedtime, Baba.
Hey Cyrus, I am with you on your hatred for motorcyclists and
Hate them
pedestrians crossing roads randomly.
Hate them all.
However, being an occasional pedestrian myself, I have had to walk on the street not by choice.
Why does the cop stop the bloody pedestrian who's jaywalking ever? He stops me all the time, but he can't stop that guy. It's $2,000 jaywalking. They jump out of nowhere on places like Marine Drive.
Yeah,
They just jump out. You're dead, man. But there's no cop chasing you. He can never catch the guy.
There's a
That guy won't have
lawyer-
$2,000.
yeah.
Who's going to process the paper? This law is rubbish.
One lawyer had
Sorry,
died.
there
There is more from Nimish.
Is there a question?
There are a lot of parts of the city where the sidewalks are filthy or
Yeah.
encroached by street vendors.
Yes.
We talk about potholes on the roads, but I think potholes on the sidewalks are worse.
Yes.
One feels they are on a hike/trek. What can
Yes.
we do to fix it?
I've come back from Lucknow last week. City looks 80 times better than Mumbai.
Okay.
Lucknow. 5 million people or something around that much.
Yeah.
Okay? We are about 5 times that amount and we are just, I don't know what to say. You travel a lot, Aakash.
I travel a lot.
Mumbai, South Mumbai especially, is just looking horrible here. Horrible compared to so many cities. Nagpur has improved so much. Lovely. South don't speak of. Most of the cities are in pristine condition.
Not
Delhi
really.
has good roads, if nothing else. So what have we got? We're terrible.
We have the promise that global warming will sweep us away. one day.
Glaciers.
No, and the blame is also us.
plaque.
The blame is also us, not for no civic sense.
But I
no,
feel this is a very common Indian problem where because somebody so the footpath guy has rights to walk on a nice footpath. When those rights are encroached by the
Then
seller,
he moves to the road and
so he encroaches on my rights as a driver. Instead of trying to fight for his rights, he just takes from the next guy, and then I take from the next guy.
No, I want to compromise. If you are going to cross because of civic sort of irresponsibility by people in power, not me personally, then you should at least be punished slightly. So you have to walk with your pants down. You know, for example, exposing
How
your
is that?
buttocks.
How is that a punishment?
I don't know. I want some compensation so I don't get angry. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, you feel angry because they've encroached. And then because nobody follows any sort of order, we have no orderliness in India. That's a huge issue.
But
all the intelligence. We're the most intelligent, I think, in the world. A lot of warmth. Great people, actually, when you know people individually. But when we are together in a civic structure, we are choots.
Yeah,
we are. Whether we're in the toilet or crossing the road or crossing on this thing. But otherwise, I mean, there are 80,000 great things also about Indians. It's not like we're that bad.
Yeah.
I would have left
it's
otherwise.
Just as
I still will leave. But
as a civil, we don't have civic sense.
Civic thing.
Yeah.
What to do about the civility now? How to start it? I mean, people have other problems, like say Kashmir or just basic living conditions, and we have to wait in line.
Yeah. What a depressing episode.
Abbas has fallen asleep. Huh?
No, I'm awake.
But I'll tell you one thing: if you want to understand what it is to be a motorist, you have to drive the car yourself, and
That's
then
what
you
I
see
was
from our
thinking,
side.
when
Otherwise,
you
it sounds elitist. It sounds elitist, but drive yourself. And I have a friend, a girl, who after 5 days was learning how to drive. Before that, she used to stop abusing. After 5 days, I can't believe you're so calm. I can't believe you're so calm. After 5 days of driving, she told me.
No, and
I said, boss, ho gaya.
It's also like a weird responsibility in your head as a vehicle driver because you could kill someone. Right? You don't want, nobody wants to kill someone.
Literally, they give you that choice. Very, like, bindas attitude.
They stand in the middle of the road.
No, your problem. Tumhar. Marne ka tumhar. You're frustrated, kill me. I'm telling you, you think about it. Don't you think about it, Aakash? If Mrs. Sharma is hit by my car and I escape towards the right of Alkeshwar, will I be out in time? I don't.
So a few minutes ago, you were bemoaning hitting a woman from the BST bus.
I think we know how that happened now.
No, she caught me. Actually, I still think it's her fault. Okay. I mean, I didn't want her to get hurt ever, but she came to the front of the bus and the cars are parallel to the bus. It's a very dangerous point to come out of a bus, which has started, that sound has come and the bus is starting to move and you suddenly pop in. And luckily, I was only at about 40, 50 or something, so it wasn't that bad. It could have been worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to that old lady.
On
that note.
That happened in 1990 or something, so I don't know if that old lady is
still alive also.
We can hope for the best.
I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Damn.
Unnecessary.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to need another ending for this episode.
I think this was a great end. This is the kind of morbidity that is expected when Amit Bhai is not there.
Amit is our proprietor. Surname Doshi.
Not.
No. Thanks.
Yeah.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And that's what Cyrus says.
This is the amazing story of something awesome. Once, Chuck decided to start a podcast. And so he did. The end. Okay, that was a crappy story. But I've got some really cool stories over at my new show, The Origin of Things. On this podcast, I look at the stories of how brands came into being and sometimes evolved out of quite unexpected circumstances. And to make it really fun, I reveal the name of the brand and sometimes a category only at the very end. The show is 5 to 7 minutes per episode and perfect for trivia junkies and brand nerds, especially those with short attention spans. New episodes out every Wednesday on IVM Podcasts app or website or any podcast app or site that you happen to prefer. End of story, they lived happily ever after.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills. From health to relationships. From mental well-being to emotional well-being. And of course, your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.